I think it's safe to say Cyberpunk 2 is starting to sound absolutely massive. The development team has grown again. We may be actually getting 2 full cities, multiplayer is looking more likely than ever. CD Projekt Red wants the most realistic crowds ever put into a video game, and both Keanu Reeves and Cyberpunk creator Mike Pondsmith are openly talking about bringing Johnny Silverhand back. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Today, it's all about Cyberpunk 2, Jimmy or Chaos, and I'm going to get you guys completely caught up on all the latest leaks, rumors, news, announcements, release date information, everything with this massive, massive game that's coming. There's also one thing buried underneath all these updates that has me wondering if Cyberpunk 2 is ever going to be the kind of sequel that we all thought it was going to be. Because when you connect the new city, multiplayer, the completely rebuilt technology, and the rumored budget, this is not Cyberpunk 2077 with a bigger map. CD Projekt Red may be trying to build a Cyberpunk game designed to last for an entire generation. They may be taking the Rockstar playbook here when it comes to GTA. So let's start with what's actually confirmed. I read every single comment on every single video. Make sure you're subscribed, drop a like, and thank you for all the support on the channel. Cyberpunk 2, previously known as Project Orion, remains in pre-production. That means the team is locking down the core story, the mechanics, the technology, basically the overall scope before full production begins. Now, pre-production doesn't sound super exciting, but the number of people working on this thing tells us a much bigger story. When Cyberpunk 2 officially entered pre-production in April of last year, it had, I think, roughly 96 developers. By February 2026, which less than a year, that climbed to 150. And the latest official allocation from April showed 163 developers assigned to the project. So in roughly 1 year, the team grew by almost 70 people. CD Projekt Red previously planned to, or said they continue to expand the Cyberpunk team as development before. We're in pre-production, people. Those numbers, those are rookie numbers. They're going to get pumped up when we go into full production, if we're not already. Now, The Witcher 4 is still the studio's main priority with more than 500 developers, which is wild. The Cyberpunk 2, it's clearly being prioritized. Once The Witcher 4 reaches the later stage of production, I would guess that even more people are going to shift over. Final Cyberpunk team could eventually reach somewhere between 350 and 500 developers if CD Projekt wants the estimates that, well, if it follows the estimates that it's said in the past. Now, the sequel is being led by CD Projekt Red's North American operation, primarily the new Boston studio with Vancouver and Warsaw kind of playing support roles. A lot of people leading it worked on Cyberpunk, the original, and Phantom Liberty, including Phantom Liberty director Gabe Amatangelo. Now, that is probably the best possible news here because Phantom Liberty really felt like CD Projekt really delivered the version of Cyberpunk it originally promised. Now, Cyberpunk 2 is also moving away from the Red Engine, being developed in the Unreal Engine 5. The studio is working directly with Epic Games to improve Unreal's open world technology, including streaming, animation, large environments, all of it. How it's loaded, everything. That technology is being built across CD Projekt Red's future games. So some of the work being done for Witcher 4 will also benefit Cyberpunk 2. Now, let's get into the first big detail. Cyberpunk 2 probably won't be limited to Night City. We know that, right? Mike Pondsmith revealed that Night City is part of the sequel, but the team is also developing another location. Couldn't reveal its actual name, but he described the new city as feeling like Chicago gone wrong. Now, he specifically said it doesn't have the same Blade Runner feel as Night City, which tells us they are not simply building another neon-covered futuristic city with a slightly different skyline. There's been lots of speculation that is literally Cyberpunk's version of Chicago, but that's not confirmed. Pondsmith was describing the feeling of the location, not necessarily giving away its identity, but it's weird that he said Chicago, right? Now, the question is, how large are both locations? We could get a full Night City alongside another complete open world, or Night City might only appear during part of the story before the players move somewhere new. But the fact that CD Projekt is hiring environment artists to define everything from skyline down to individual streets, that's exciting. It suggests the new location is not going to be some tiny side area. That is where the sequel could separate itself. Night City was visually incredible, but it didn't always feel like the city noticed you, if that makes sense. Crowds had very limited reactions, many buildings were inaccessible, and plenty of the NPCs kind of felt like decoration instead of actual residents. So they know that. And one Cyberpunk 2 job listing said the studio wants to create the most realistic and reactive crowd system ever put in a game. They're going to have some tall competition with GTA 6. Same role involved designing memorable encounters and divergent experiences supporting different playstyles. Now, That doesn't mean every random person walking down the street is going to have a complete schedule, apartment, 40-hour side story, but it does tell us they want the city to react more believably to us. Crowds could recognize violence, respond differently to your rep. They could alert gangs or police and react to cyberware in ways that make the world feel less scripted. There's other listings mentioning improved player and NPC movement, including locomotion driven by cybernetic abilities. That could mean way more advanced traversal. We could have different movement styles based on your implants and enemies whose bodies actually move differently depending on their cyberware. The studio is also hiring cinematic designers to create seamless scenes that allow players to retain more control, also allowing them to interact with the environment, make decisions while conversations are happening. This is all great, but the biggest potential change is multiplayer. A Cyberpunk 2 listing for a lead network engineer directly mentioned building and optimizing multiplayer systems. That includes matchmaking, latency, bandwidth, server performance. That is much more specific than hiring somebody to work on basic online services. They are at the very least building and testing some of the actual multiplayer components. They haven't officially announced MP. Anything can change during pre-production, we know that, but I mean, Cyberpunk, the original game, was supposed to receive multiplayer too, and that project was abandoned after the launch, for studio to spend years repairing the base game. This time, online technology appears to be getting built into Cyberpunk 2 from the beginning. I guess the real question is, what does multiplayer mean? Is it 2 to 4 player co-op where your crew can explore the city and complete contracts, or is it a separate GTA online style mode, or is it Cyberpunk 2 being designed as the most uniquely single-player RPG with optional online systems layered in? I don't know. I mean, personally, I do not want multiplayer coming at the expense of the story. Cyberpunk works because of the story, the characters, the decisions, all of that. Feels like you're slowly being swallowed up in the world. If the sequel becomes a live service grind, count me out. Seriously. But real co-op? A co-op mode? That could work. Cyberpunk's entire world is built around mercenary news. I mean, Jackie, V, T-Bug, Dexter. That could be cool. Phantom Liberty constantly had you working with other agents. So I'd be okay with co-op. And then, of course, Johnny Silverhand. Keanu was asked if he would return for Cyberpunk 2, and he said he would absolutely love to play Johnny again. And that alone, that's not confirmation, but Mike Pondsmith later responded by saying he has ways to bring Johnny back and told Keanu to contact him. Let's be real, people. If Keanu's on board, he decides, not them. I promise you. If he wants Johnny to come back, they're going to figure out a way for Johnny to come back. His return could be complicated because the original had multiple endings. Depending on your choices, he could disappear, merge with Alt, be on the Black Wall, take control of V's body, but they'll figure it out. I'm not worried about it. And as for V, CD Projekt has said nothing about the protagonist. My guess is we'll play as someone new, with V becoming a legend whose fate kind of depends on the ending of the sequel that was recognized. Now, let's talk about some rumors. Let's talk about release dates. It's not been announced. We don't have a year. The company has only said that its average journey from pre-production to release takes 4 to 5 years, while warning every project is different. So Cyberpunk 2 entered pre-production in 2025. So the absolute earliest realistic target would be 2029. Probably 2030 is more believable. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. It's a prediction. We'll see. I mean, Cyberpunk 2077 has now sold 35 million copies, with Phantom Liberty passing over 10 million. So they're going to get it right. They're going to cook it until there is no chance of a disastrous launch like they already had. We'll see. 2 cities, reactive crowds, seamless cinematics, multiplayer infrastructure. Sounding pretty fun. It's exciting, to be honest with you. Right now, it's all good news. Team's growing. You've got veterans from Phantom Liberty. The Unreal Engine 5 is going to give them a fresh technical foundation, and maybe co-op and multiplayer. I mean, it's probably 3 to 4 years away, maybe 5. Keanu wants back. Mike says he's going to make it happen. So it's all good things right now. I'll keep you guys posted if anything new breaks.